I bet you thought some NBA records couldn't be broken, like 72 wins in a season. Yeah, that turned out well. Then there are some records that are absurdly unbreakable, especially in the NBA, which, like baseball, has been an evolving league. I mean, in the early days, players were not permitted to dunk for Christ's sakes. Mostly because they couldn't. Even the three-pointer is a relatively new thing, so is tanking. Oh well, anyways, here are 5 unbreakable NBA records. Number 5, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar scoring record. There is very little that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar hasn't accomplished. A 6-time NBA champ, 3-time NCAA champ, 19-time All-Star, karate master, and airline pilot.
Wait a minute, I know you. You're Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Kareem has done it all, and his 38,387 career points is likely a record that will stand the test of time. Kareem, born Lou Alcindor, has a ton of things going for him to preserve this record. Number 1, he played 20 seasons and averaged 24 points a game. He also was a tower in the middle and had a devastating skyhook that really just couldn't be blocked. Karl Malone is next on the list with 36,928, but his body wouldn't let him get towards the record. LeBron is the highest active player with 28,787, but as a swingman, it's going to be difficult for him to continue to score like he currently is as he gets older. Personally, I think the record is safe until the next great Laker comes in and starts balling. Number 4, Rasheed Wallace, 41 technical fouls in a season. To say Rasheed Wallace had a bad attitude is an understatement. In 2001, Rasheed literally got teed up every other game, as he must have constantly whispered into the ref's ear that his mother was a whore all season.
Whack! Get out!
What's really unbreakable about this record is the fact that second place on the list is Antoine Walker with 23, and now the league issues a suspension without pay after 16 techs, and every tech after that is a 1-game suspension thereafter. So under this rule set, Sheed would have gotten hit to his wallet about a quarter of his annual salary, though telling a ref he is a bitch might be worth it. Number 3, Michael Williams, 97 straight free throws. Probably the biggest misnomer in sports is the term free throw, as it sometimes can be very challenging. However, on the flip side, some players were good enough to hit them with their eyes closed. But nobody has been as good as hitting them consecutively as Michael Williams, who hit 97 straight in the year 1993, spanning 2 seasons and 19 regular season games. The previous record had been 78 by Calvin Murray, which he obliterated. I'm also really surprised someone like Mark Price, or Larry Bird, or John Stockton, or Jeff Hornacek, or Craig Elo doesn't have this record. Number 2, Wilt Chamberlain's single-game scoring record, 100. Wilt the Stilt was known for scoring, heyo, but probably the record he is known the most for is his single-game scoring record of 100, which he set way back in 1962 against the Knicks. What's interesting about this record is that there is no footage of him scoring 100 out of his team's 169 points en route to the victory. So we are left to assume that all the Philadelphia Warriors did that day was feed the Stilt down on the low block and let him score on his much smaller opponents. However, this isn't entirely true, as the Knicks center he was matched up against was 6'11" Darrell Imhoff. Give credit to the Stilt, this was no easy task. The closest anyone has come to the record was, of course, Kobe Bryant, who scored 81 points in a game in 2006 in probably Kobe's favorite game of his career, as he got to live out his dream of taking nearly every single shot in a game and not having to pass. Even he said after scoring 81 points that 100 in a game is impossible. Also, Wilt never took a photo like this. Number 1, Bill Russell, 11 championships. Bill Russell and the Celtics didn't used to have a dynasty. They had an empire, and from 1957 to 1969, Bill created a legacy and became the only player in NBA history to have to pull his pants down to count to how many championships he has. Because he has 11, including a stretch from 1959 to 1966 where he won 8 straight. That's just absurd to think about how dominant that is when the GOAT himself and the measuring stick of GOATness, MJ, has 6. And as Bron is finding out, winning rings is very, very hard. So let's look at why this record will never be broken. 1. It was in an era before the salary cap, so super teams could be kept together longer. 2. There were only 8 teams in the league in 1959 and 14 teams in the league in 1969, the last time Russell won, and the playoffs were only 1 to 3 rounds. 3. The league wasn't rigged as bad as it is now. And 4. Russell was really, really good. No other player besides Russell's teammates has more than 7 rings as a player, and Big Shot Bob has the most of any non-Celtic with 7. Of course, LeBron could challenge for the record as he laid that out for us one time.
Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7.
Agree with my list? Think I left any off? Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at 5pointsvids. I'm 5pointsvids, and you made it to the end of this video.